Here's the real reason the world panics when China talks about rare earth exports. Because China doesn't just mine rare earths, it controls the entire supply chain. Rare earths exist in many countries: India, Brazil, Vietnam, the US, Australia. But mining is only the first step. The real power lies in turning those minerals into high performance magnets, and that's where China dominates. China controls around 70% of the global rare earth mining, about 85 to 90% of processing, and nearly 90% of magnet manufacturing. Entire ecosystem of suppliers, engineers, and metallurgical knowledge, meaning if another country digs the ore, it still usually gets processed in China. Now you must be thinking that why does China dominate? Well, there are three clear reasons for it. First is decades of investment. China built giant rare earth industrial zone in the 1980s and 1990s when no one else cared. Second is processing expertise. Turning oxides into metal, into alloys, and into finally magnets is extremely technical, expensive, and polluting. China mastered it early while other countries backed away. And once China became the cheapest supplier, the world simply depended on it, from EV makers to defense companies. So, if China has achieved high economies of scale, why has China reduced exports? This is where the story gets geopolitical. China has repeatedly tightened export controls on rare earths, especially since 2010, and even more aggressively after 2023. Why? Rare earths are a bargaining chip in global politics. China knows that cutting supplies can pressure countries that depend on it, especially Japan, the US, and Europe. Secondly, rare earth magnets are used in missiles, jets, submarines, drones, radars, all critical defense systems. No country freely exports the building blocks of military power. Thirdly, China wants companies to manufacture inside China, not just buy raw materials. Restricting exports pushes the global companies to set up factories in China. And lastly, China wants to protect its technology, which is why it recently added export restrictions on rare earth processing technologies, keeping core expertise within the country. The message is simple: if you want the world's most important magnets, you have to play by China's rules. So here's the big question: can India break this dominance with its new 7,280 crore rare earth magnet manufacturing scheme? That's what I'll break down in the next video. Follow for the next part in this rare earth series.